and members of Amani National Congress have said the party will go it alone if Musalia Mudavadi is not picked as a NASA flag bearer. Delegates and aspirants from Kakamega, Bungoma, Busia, Vihiga and Trans-Nzoia counties said Mudavadi must be on the ballot as a presidential candidate. They argued that NASA is made up of two major affiliates, ANC and CORD, and that each side should produce either the president or the deputy. ANC Secretary General Godfrey Osotsi has, however, dismissed the aspirants, saying the decision for ANC to go it alone lies with the National Executive Council, the National Governing Council and the National Delegates Convention. All right, so let's have a conversation about this latest developments and so much more. Joining me right now in studio is Martin Wanyonyi. He is a nominated MCA in Bungoma County. Thank you so much for joining us in studio.
Thank you so much.
So talk to us about this latest developments. Quite a number of supporters of Musalia Mudavadi saying that he might just have to go it alone if he's not the flag bearer.
Thank you so much. I think the true position is that ANC is the brainchild of NASA. Actually, we are the founders of NASA as ANC, and CORD actually joined ANC in NASA. So, but then the position that we want to go it alone actually is not true. But what my friends and what as aspirants from the Luhya Nation are saying is that they're just trying to increase the stakes of Musalia Mudavadi in terms of being nominated as the NASA flag bearer. So, but then our position has always been, we came together as NASA, not really for people to have positions, for Musalia Mudavadi to be the president or for the Raila Odinga to be deputy president or what. We came together because the country is in the wrong direction. Right. The country is in the wrong hands, and our objective was to rescue this country from the hands of Jubilee.
All right, so the protest that we saw, was it yesterday? They're just
Yes.
to drum up support and increase the stakes of Musalia Mudavadi, but that's not the true position of the party.
Yeah, actually, in the process of negotiations, when people are on the table for negotiation, there are so many things that happens as a process of increasing the stakes of the teams negotiating. So I think what happened yesterday was just to increase the stakes of the Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, the ANC party leader, for him to be picked as a flag bearer. But the most important also thing is that what Jubilee has done for the last 4 years has demonstrated that any core principle within NASA can be able to do a better job than what Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto have done for the last 4 years. But I think as an ANC, we believe that our crystal ball tells us that Musalia Mudavadi can do a better, can be the best bet to send Jubilee home in 30 minutes' time.
In 30 minutes, wow, that's close call. But I mean, taking a look at Musalia Mudavadi, if he is not the flag bearer, are we likely to see a divide in the number of people who would support him, or are we expecting that the Luhya Nation is going to support whoever is going to be flag bearer as a bloc?
I think, as I said, our objective was not to share positions in government. Our objective was to rescue this country, was to send Jubilee home. So I think as the Luhya Nation, we have our leaders within NASA. We have Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, we have Honorable Moses Wetangula. Any one of them that will be picked, be it Musalia, be it Kalonzo, be it Raila Amolo Odinga, be it Wetangula, as the Luhya Nation will support that particular candidate. And I think we are united behind NASA. You are hearing some Jubilee voice within Luhya Nation. I can assure you the Luhya Nation are united behind NASA, and they will support any candidate that will be picked within NASA. But we are praying that all of us are praying that that candidate should be Musalia Mudavadi.
Okay, let's now shift focus and talk about the primaries which are coming up. ODM is starting theirs this week. ANC, is it the same?
Yes.
Yes. What is your take about the environment that these primaries are coming into? Remember that last week there was a bit of chaos here and there, and of course this is a moment that is very delicate for any aspirants. Everybody wants to get to clinch a ticket, but not everybody will do so, and that sometimes results to some chaos in some areas. How well prepared is ANC in regards to this?
I think to answer that question, for the last few weeks, probably you've not had any violence within the ANC strongholds. I think you had very smooth, very well planned nominations, and I can assure you that ANC is very well prepared to hold its nominations from I think the end of this week, and we want to assure our aspirants that ANC has put in place all the mechanisms, especially I think for me who is an aspirant and really from the disability group. I'm happy with the level of preparedness of our party to ensure that even people with disabilities themselves are able to realize their God-given dreams in politics. And I think we support the party, and we want to also urge the party that we really don't want just to see theory or them giving statements. We want also to see that this one is really translates into practical fairness and ensuring that indeed these nominations are free and fair. So I think I want to see that translate into actions.
You brought in a very critical issue to do with leadership and also to do with elections, and that is, of course, people living with disabilities. Do you feel that with the 4 years that Jubilee has been in power, they have really looked into the issue to do with people living with disability in regards to opportunities and, of course, leadership?
As I said, that as people with disabilities, we join the rest of the country, and because actually we live in this country, we are Kenyans, and we are seeing what is happening in this country. I think for the last 4 years, anybody will accept that Jubilee, as far as disability is concerned, they have really done, they have not performed, or rather they have performed below average in terms of access to opportunities. You've seen that when they were appointing their head of parastatals, even ambassadors, there was no person with disability in those appointments. When they were appointing minister, CS, permanent secretaries, we only have one permanent secretary with disability, which does not really constitute the constitutional threshold of 5%. So I think for me, while Jubilee came on board on the platform of fairness, on the platform of inclusion, really for me, they have failed. They have failed in terms of inclusion. They have failed in terms of really meeting the values and principles of public service as stipulated under Article 232.
Right.
So I think for us, any person with disability around the country, really, they are ready to see that really NASA is in power.
The question really would be, I mean, for the people who've been given the opportunities to be leaders, including yourself, and of course Isaac Maura, who's been vocal for the past couple of years, do you think you've done what's enough for other people living with disabilities to represent some of the challenges that they face?
For me, I believe we've done what we're supposed to do. For me, like a member of the County Assembly of Bungoma, see, we've been able to, our objective was to ensure that persons with disability are integrated in all spheres of life, be it matters of laws around service delivery, laws around budget, laws around employment, but the onus of implementing of those laws is with the executive. So in the context of Bungoma County, that onus is with the executive that is led by the Honorable Kenneth Lusaka. So you realize that when it comes to implementation, actually my hands are tied. So for me, the problem, what has led down the people with disability in this country has been the executive. So in our counties and also at the national level. So for me, like my brother Maura has been able to push so many motions in the National Assembly, but realize the implementation of those motions has not been done. Yes.
All right. Finally, when you're in the opposition and you've said that Jubilee government has not done enough, so say you're given that opportunity and NASA or the opposition clinches, the presidency and the presidency, I beg your pardon, and takes over leadership of this country, what do you think they'll do different when it comes to people living with disabilities?
Basically, when you see like our party ODM, rather one of the parties in NASA, ODM, ANC, as we speak now, they have been able to place people with disabilities at the center of governance of those parties. And that also demonstrates that if
Do you have any examples?
Exactly. Myself, our own National Elections Board in ANC, we have a person with disability who is the vice chair of that particular board. In ODM, you realize Maura was nominated by ODM.
Yes, yes.
He was given that opportunity. Maura was holding serious positions within the ODM party before he left to Jubilee. So you realize that the different thing that NASA will do that Jubilee has not done is first to actualize the 5% job opportunity for possibilities, to actualize the principles of good governance as stipulated by under Article 10 of the Constitution, which for me, I think the most important thing is the principle of inclusion, be it in service delivery, be it in job opportunity, be it in really in all these spheres of development of our country.
All
so,
right.
and I think our principles have made that clear. Last week we had a meeting with the Honorable Musalia, and he made that commitment.
Okay.
You realize, finally, I think you are seeing even issue of 30% tendering with the government. Most of the people are getting those tenders are not people with disabilities, or if it's a person with disability, is related to the president, related to the deputy president, or related to a senior person in the government.
Okay.
Yet that's not the spirit of 30% job tendering for people for special groups.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Martin Wanyonyi, for
Thank
your
you so
time.
much. Asante.
And all the best
Thank you.
in the coming up primaries. Yeah, he is a Bungoma nominated member of the County Assembly. All right.